Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Bikini in the Brain. I'm here with the lovely, reinvigorated, another pro win, Ashley Kaltwasser.
Hello. Sorry we missed you guys last weekend. We were in Canada.
We were in Canada,
Flying home from Canada to here. So,
Yeah.
USA.
We had a good trip. That was a good trip.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Never disappoints. Vancouver is always good to us.
a nice new venue. That was fun.
Oh, yeah.
Lots
It was
to
more
do.
downtown, the venue. So it was a nice new experience. In the previous years, it was kind of like in the outskirts in some place called Abbotsford. We passed a lot of like blueberry stands on the way. But yeah.
Someone brought you berries, right?
Yes. Thank you. I ate them. They were good.
Yeah. So we have, what do we call this guy? What is?
I was thinking about that. I don't know. So we named Sassy the Sasquatch trophy. That's Sassy. I don't know what this one is.
Vinny from Vancouver.
I like it. Let's go with that. Unless you guys have a better
Vinny
ID.
Vancouver. Vinny Vancouver. That's it.
Yeah, Vinny. Okay.
Vinny Vancouver.
Except for he's wearing a canvas. Okay.
Yeah, I like it. So yeah, congratulations, Ashley, on that. You know, you had an awesome showing. You've had a great year.
Yeah.
Since the Olympia, perfect shows. Is it perfect scores all the way since the Olympia too? I think it is
coming on.
Oh my gosh. New podcast, restart.
Oh my gosh. I'm sorry I ruined your guys' experience. If you want to unsubscribe, I understand. Sorry.
So yeah, perfect job. So good job on everything.
Yeah, it's been going well this year, and that one was my last show to Olympia.
Yeah,
I'm shutting it off to Olympia. So
yeah,
gonna focus on the O.
And I think that this in this podcast we could talk about getting ready for the Olympia, but also maybe some of the things that will help you guys when getting ready for your big show. And I think the first one we should talk about obviously is going to be you are hanging it up for the rest of the season until the O, which is something you haven't usually done, and what the benefits of that could be and why.
Mm-hmm. So I'll be honest, it's all mental. The burden of expectation, the pressure. Right now I have good confidence because my last 4 shows in a row I won, if you want to count Kazakhstan. So I've got good like confidence momentum, I call it. If you do well at a show, you feel good, right? You just competed, you got a perfect score, you got good feedback. You want to keep it there. Like you don't want a show where it's like let's say I competed 2 weeks before Olympia and I got like feedback like, oh yeah, you're gonna have to like bring up those arms or something like that. Like that would mess me up mentally. And if things didn't go well, that would be like, oh my gosh, am I losing my spark? Am I losing my oomph? So, given that I had 4 good shows in a row, last one being Vancouver, got good feedback, I think I'm just gonna keep it there just for my mental, my peace of mind.
Yeah.
Keep the fire alive. But you can also, if you want to, go into physical benefits of it as well. But honestly, I think it's more mental.
Yeah,
and it's definitely more mental.
In your scenario, there's not a whole lot to improve on. So, I had someone who I was talking to this morning who wants to get their pro card, and they're saying, yeah, I want to compete a few more times before I go into nationals next year. And I'm like, well, if you're Ashley, the option of competing a bunch of times before the show is there because she doesn't need a lot more muscle. But if you're someone who needs a lot more muscle, the option might not be there for you. It's better to just take some time and to grow into the show and to take all the time you can to grow and be ready for the show versus trying to kind of like do your way, which the whole time you didn't need a lot of muscle though. The whole time you needed a little bit of muscle. Mm-hmm. Now you don't need any muscle. So yeah, the option's there for you. So the option might be there for you, might not be there for you. So that's why, doing the Vancouver show made a lot of sense for you, and plus there's a lot of benefits to you doing the Vancouver show. One of them is you love the show.
I love the show. It's a good experience to come back with a smile on my face. Definitely one of my favorite shows. Don't know if I'll do it next year, but it's a good one. I'm telling you guys, it's a good one. Other benefits, for me, just honestly, it's like kind of getting the rust off. And I don't know how you guys do it that just compete like once or twice a year. I'm so rusty, or at least I think in my mind I'm rusty. But either way, you don't want any rust, whether it be mental rust or if it's actually rusty. You want to go into the biggest show with confidence. So, with that being said, I do like to compete a few times before Olympia to get the rust off, to like nail down my presentation, my conditioning. and even my suit, because I wore a new suit.
That suit was cool.
Adam named the suit Kermit's Night Out. And if you guys haven't seen the suit, you have to go look at it. It's on my Instagram, Ashley K Fit. But this suit is super vivid and unique, I would say, because it's got a lot of like opaque green stones, which really brings out the green color. And it's like a frog green.
Yeah. It's like it has like a bright, almost neon look to those stones. Those what do you call them? And then the matte
They're I just called them opaque. I don't know what they're actually called, but they're you can't see through them. They don't shine.
Yeah, and they're just like it's almost material looking, but they're scattered so well that it's not just neon green, and it's just enough where it really pop. I love that suit.
I was so nervous to wear that suit because I've not worn it before. It looked so cool when I like put it on in person, but I was afraid like under the lights because I didn't want it to come across too neon. That's the thing, because I don't want it to be like too distracting, right? That's why we kind of avoid crazy colors sometimes, as it can be distracting. You want to see the physique, not like the suit. And I was getting a lot of compliments before going on stage, like, oh, is this a new suit? I like it. And it made me more nervous because I was like, oh my gosh, the people notice it's a different like color. What if on stage it's just like it looks super neon? What if it's just like a fluorescent green like mess, you know? So I did have that thought in my head. Luckily, when we stepped on stage, it did not translate like that at all. It actually just looked to be a very bright green, like a bright lighter green. I would say a little bit lighter than a grass green, probably just like you said, a frog green, like the Kermit's Night Out. That's why we're calling it that.
Kermit's Night Out.
So very fitting, very fitting title for that. By the way, that suit is from Angel Competition Bikinis. You can use code Ashley K Fit to save. But yeah, I love that suit a lot. And I don't know if I'll make that my Olympia suit. I might do a different version of that, maybe slightly different to make it a little more toned down. But I know you liked it, and we're running out of greens. So like,
yeah, you've ran through every shade of green, most shades of red.
Shades of red are tricky because if you get too light, it's pink. And if you get too dark, it's burgundy. And then you don't want it to be orange. So there's not a lot you can do with reds, but you can definitely do more with greens.
Yeah, I've been trying to pull it up. So, oh, here we go. Now I just
went to my Instagram. But yeah, look at that suit.
Let's see if I can pull it up here.
Very
on
vivid.
The
sorry if you're only a listener, not a viewer. This is going on YouTube.
Right. All right.
Oh, okay. The pressure's on.
I know. I've never done it here. Oh, share screen on this. I know not everyone's a lot of people are just listening.
Yeah, but I
here we go. I got it.
I was surprised that you like were such a fan of the suit, because I know you're very traditional, and I know you're more like better play it safe than sorry.
Guy. You never want the feedback of it was too much.
Yeah, because you never want the feedback of a suit being like, well, your body looked great, it was close, but your suit was very distracting. You don't want that feedback. So even me, I always play it safe. So this suit, I was a little nervous to wear, but it turned out so awesome. So I'm glad I got to test it out on stage. That's smaller than the Olympia. Definitely wouldn't want to try that on the Olympia stage. It would be so nerve-wracking to just like try a new suit and just hope it works out well. Hopefully it shines correctly. Because yeah, like I said, if you look at a suit in person, it looks different when you just look at it in your hands and then under the lights. It can really distort how shiny it is, or the color saturation too.
Yeah. So I thought it was a great blend of a little bit different, but not too crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think if you went obviously full green, it would be, probably a little too crazy, but it was nice. It was a nice toned down version. It was, I'm glad that you took the risk too. That was a really fun thing. Cause at first you were like, well, maybe I'll wear this at night show, like at the night show, cause the judging's done. And then we both went back and forth. We're like, no, it's not too much. It's just a cool suit. So I don't know. I like it a lot. Yeah. Like I like it Olympia a lot, but I don't know. It's a little crazy. I get it.
I mean,
still uncomfortable.
Could still be my Olympia suit. Yeah. We don't know yet. I still got some weeks to decide.
Let's get some votes in here, guys. What do you guys think? If you guys know of the suits that you like of Ashley's, if you think this, or just if you think this is too much, yes, or not too much, no. Put it in the comments. We get a little poll going.
Yeah. But when mine get completed, because like I said, I made another version or two, we're going to look at it in person and decide. But yeah, I like that one a lot. I want to also talk about like the show size. It was quite a small show here in Vancouver this year.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah. So there was 5 of us pros and then the amateur winner. So that totaled 6. And I kind of want to talk about like, a lot of people think that like I'm just like, oh, because there's 6 competitors. Oh, it's easy week. Oh my gosh. It's like, oh yeah. Yeah, just coasting on in. No, I get just as nervous if there's 5 girls, if there's 50 girls. Like it's not, because it each comes with its like downsides. Because I think when people think this, they don't understand like the pressure it is to be like on top and do a small show. Because what if something goes wrong? You know what I mean? I don't think people understand that.
They don't understand that side of things. And what a lot of times what people don't understand too is people are only used to seeing the top people compete against like the top people. And so when you're in one of those shows where it's like the top people versus the top people, 99% of the time, the top people are going to make the first call out. So you're comparing the best against the best, like almost all the time. In bodybuilding, it's like exclusively like the best of the best, like almost all the time. And so there's not really that many surprises. And if someone beats someone, it's like, oh, well, that makes sense. Like no one's going to be surprised at, like, if you could take the top, let's say the top like 5 of the bikini Olympia last year, if one of those 5 win and beats one of the other ones, it's like, oh yeah, that makes sense. She was the top 5. So yeah, that makes sense that it happened. But what happens at these small shows is that you don't just have small shows, you have judges that might not be judging the IFBB or judging the Olympia level too. So they're seeing maybe you for the first time or seeing someone else for the first time, and they haven't had you compared to whoever to see, oh, that's what the top girls look like type of thing too. So there you have all these different variables, but then you also have the biggest variable is someone who maybe they're pretty good and they're top, let's say, like they're in the 20th place at the Olympia. Like that's a good competitor. Someone who's 20th place. That's a great
like second or third call up.
Yeah. Like that's a good, people are underestimated because she was in the sea of 16, but she's like 20th place. Like that girl's legit, like winning almost every show she enters type of good. But that girl gets to be directly next to you in front of a judge who maybe isn't an Olympia level judge, and the side judges, maybe that's their, who knows, that could be like their second pro show they judge, right? So when you're getting direct comparison and then the baseline is just you two and everyone else isn't even Olympia qualified yet, yeah, things can go, you can make a lot of arguments for that 20th place girl. Like you can make a lot of arguments in any bikini contest because it's not bodybuilding. It's not the biggest, leanest, most aesthetic, like most, symmetrical guy. It's, oh, well, are Ashley's glutes too big today? Or Ashley's like, cause she's bigger than everyone, is her shoulders too strided? Or, there's just so many like little things you can make arguments for in bikini. So it's definitely risky what you do. It's like
I don't think people realize it.
No. And then if that girl wins, it's like, oh, she beat Ashley. Oh my gosh. It's like the whole, and I'm like, guys, settle down. Like Ashley competes 10 times a year. Like it's good. No one's gonna
on a light year.
Yeah. It's like, of course someone's going to slip in there. Like of course it's bikini. It's not bodybuilding. So it's one of those things where it's definitely nerve wracking every time. The smaller shows they all have their own different thing.
Yeah.
The Olympia is just pressure. The small shows are like, I don't know if we should be taking this risk or not, like the whole time until you get the win, and it's like, it's almost easier if there's another like top girl there. Cause it's like, oh, well, if she wins, it's fine. Like, it's
right.
like, it's like one of those things. So yeah, it's rough. Why do you keep doing this to us? You're shortening our lifespan.
It is something that I felt the pressure more this year than any other year, which is crazy. But the only thing I can attribute it to is just like, I did better at the Olympia last year. So like the better you do at the Olympia, the more pressure there is to do better the next time or just as good at least. So there's always that pressure. But I think this competition year, because of my placing last year at the Olympia, makes me feel this way. I definitely felt it more when I was getting my 3rd places at the Olympia for the 3 years previous. But I will say when I was like getting like 6 and stuff at the Olympia, I didn't have the same amount of pressure because it was kind of like, But I feel like the better I do, it's just like I have to always deliver. And if I'm just like a little bit off, it's like such a big deal. And so that's, that's the burden of expectation. And I always say that's the only downside of doing well at the Olympia is people always hold you to it. You got to do that or better,
Well, I'm glad it worked out. You did pretty good. And then competition was no joke there, man. People underestimate because it's a small list, but you had an Olympia, I think one Olympian there outside of you. And then the girl who won her pro card, like she was right there. Like she was great. She ended up in the top 3. So yeah, it was never an easy task at any show. You just always are like, well, everyone's good. It's a small show, but everyone's pretty good. So yeah, so good job on that. Good momentum going into the Olympia.
Yes, we're keeping that there, taking it to the O.
Yeah, and then speaking of the O, we're starting the O prep. Right?
I want to briefly just shout this out. Our next seminar
Oh yeah,
is at Cult Fitness on August 16th. So that's in Henderson, very close to Las Vegas, Nevada. Just consider it Las Vegas. Cult Fitness, August 16th, 10 a.m. is bikini and fit model start, and it is free.
Yeah, and you know what? We got to give a shout out to Mike, because the owner of Cult Fitness, because he's going big on these things.
Yeah.
Like he's going real big on these. So he has, I'm just reading in my notes. We've been back and forth on text, big giveaways. So this one's over 1,500 in prizes at this one.
Oh
yeah. And one of them,
I hope I win.
Yeah. I'm going to enter it. And one of them is a cash prize too. Like 500 in cash. Yeah, I'm not giving that one up. That's him. I'm giving away 2 suits. I ordered a bunch of new suits. I ordered 10 posing suits. Last time I just ordered 10 posing suits, and then they just gave me random ones. But these ones I picked, so they're kind of more. I like them better. Yeah, those ones. So I guess they have to come in. I owe one person a posing suit from last one, and she's going to be there. I got your posing suit though, because I wasn't there last time. I didn't bring the posing suits. We're gonna raffle off that. The Shoe Fairy has been awesome to us, and they've been giving us a pair of shoes. So thank you, Shoe Fairy, for sponsoring these things too. All your shoe needs. That's who covers Ashley's toes at the Olympia. And yeah, so I think that's pretty much 2,000. There's 2,000 raffle prizes counting the 500. I think there's also an entry for one of these shows.
Patrick Sampson.
Patrick Sampson stepping up. We have Bruna doing wellness starting at 11:15. We have you guys can come too. We have men's physique, classic physique, and bodybuilding from Russ, my friend from Denver, who just moved to Vegas. I've been coaching like alongside that guy since like 2013 or something crazy like that. Like we've known each other that long in the coaching business. Never coached like together, like on the same team or anything. He's just a friend of mine who also coached from Denver. He's an awesome dude, but he's doing all the men's physique and all that stuff too. And then we are doing ours at 10 o'clock, fit model, bikini, me, you, Kimber, Tori. Where's Kimber gone? Was it next weekend? That's this weekend.
I wouldn't know this.
Yeah, no, Kimber's gone this weekend for a little while. Okay, no, it's just this weekend. All right, cool. So yeah, we'll all be there. So it'll be a fun time. So guys, come out. It'll be fun. Maybe you win some money. Maybe you win enough money where you pay for your trip to Vegas if you're flying in.
If you want more information, you can go on the Cult Fitness Instagram.
Yeah, they're doing good things here.
Yeah.
So anyway, with that being said, that's gonna be a fun one.
Heck yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah. And we could finally, it's nice. We could finally slow down before the Olympia. It's been crazy. Last month was just nuts. Yeah.
Yeah. Especially you last weekend with all those shows.
Dude, it's been, I don't remember the start date of it, but I haven't had a day where there hasn't been either check-ins or a show. This will be 3 weeks and 4 days, I think, in a row. Just even Sunday there was a show, or and then this week all the way until Sunday. So I think it's the next Thursday I finally get a day off.
Wow.
It's been 4.5 weeks of nonstop show at some point. Yeah, it's been crazy. That's the only time. July's the only crazy time, but it's been fun. So we've gotten a few pro wins though, which has been nice. A few pro wins, few pro cards. So yeah, can't complain. It's going good.
It is going good. Life is good.
Life is good. Yeah. If that's what we consider work, then I'm pretty lucky. So
agreed.
Anyway, all right. Now, what are we talking? Where were we off? I took a huge segue on that. Sorry, Ashley.
Oh no, it's okay. We're gonna talk a little bit about prep for Olympia.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's coming up here, huh?
Yeah, and we're doing things. We're gonna try some new things this year too. I think that's important to talk about too. Yep. And I think we'll just start with that. Why not? We're gonna be. Ashley is gonna be training 5 days a week, one-on-one with the trainer. We're not sure if we're gonna do this every year, but we're trying new things out. We have a trainer friend of mine who's gonna be coming in and staying in Vegas and training Ashley one-on-one. Obviously, with me coaching, and basically working like morning till like afternoon. I won't be able to train Ashley one-on-one 5 days a week. I wouldn't unfortunately have the time. So, yeah, we're going to try some hardcore lifts 5 days a week. Ashley's going to be sore.
I know.
Yeah. You're going to have a tender tush all the way from now to the Olympia.
Yeah. I'm excited about this
Yeah.
because if you guys listen to the podcast frequently, you know that like that is my weak spot. I always say I'm not the girl that's going to like cheat on my diet. I'm going to cheat on my intensity in the gym. Okay. Cause sometimes I'm just not focused enough. I will, think just like, oh, this is enough reps. Although I know that I could probably push myself a little more if someone was there making sure I did that. But the good thing about me is like if I say I'm going to do something, I do it. So this is where I'm filling my gap here, right? So if I show up for the trainer, I don't want them to waste their time. I don't want to waste my time. I'm going to put in work, right? So with my like wanting to impress personality, a trainer is great for me because I'm going to give it my 100% because I don't want to waste anyone's time.
Yeah. Yeah. And you work harder when you're with the trainer. Everyone
Yeah,
does.
that's with everyone. I think for me, I'm extremely spoiled when it comes to coaching. I've always had a coach in gymnastics and in track. So like I'm used to having someone making sure I'm doing what I need to do in the gym.
Yeah.
All the time.
So yeah, it'll be interesting to see you 5 days a week to what happens. We were always doing like once a week type of thing, but 5 days a week for the O's, like that's pretty intense. That's pretty intense of the, I'm curious to see how that goes. If it's going to be tough. It's going to be
I'm
tough.
going to definitely use those 2 days of rest, Saturday and Sunday, to my advantage. Like,
yeah, because it used to be 6 days, but only one of them was probably like a real intense day type of thing. But now it's going to be 5 days real intense. So it's always, and that's something that you guys can do too with your planning is if you're having super high intensity, you can always decrease your frequency and volume. It's the higher the intensity, the lower frequency and volume you need. So it'd be really, really hard for someone to have super high volume, frequency, and intensity all at the same time. So
absolutely. Yeah. And I'll be starting that soon. Don't have the official start date, but
next week
soon.
Just got the start date.
Okay.
Texted Tuesday.
Okay.
Next week.
And I just took an entire week off from the gym too. So that was my little deload. If you want to go into why deloads can be helpful sometimes, depending on the time of year and how far out you are from a show, because you can't be doing deloads if you're going to compete in 2 weeks. Like, yeah, that's not going to make sense.
100%. Yeah. And so, so a deload, we've talked about a little bit briefly about deloads before, but basically when you're in the gym, you're training 3 different systems. And a lot of times people don't really focus on the other 2 systems. One of them is not of huge relevance in the gym, but you're training your muscular system, your skeletal system, and your nervous system. The skeletal system is just gets stronger from lifting loads. Obviously, that's not anything you really need huge recovery on. It recovers very, very well and helps, and supports the weights loads that you're lifting as long as you're giving it ample time and calcium to recover and things like that. But the nervous system is one we always ignore. The muscular system, it recovers very, very well. When people overtrain, it's rarely the muscular system. The muscular system recovers very well. Think of like a runner who runs every day, like how much they're putting on their leg muscles. It's every day for years on end. These people run, the cyclists who get these crazy quads, those like short, I always use those guys as an example of them doing the same movement over and over again and getting huge quads. And they're like, people are like, I need to change my workout up every time. And I'm like, no, these guys do the same movement every day, all the time for years on end. And look at how muscular they got. It never adapted and they stopped growing. So it's a great example there of, no, you could just do that. You could do leg extensions forever and you get your quads like that. It'll work. So people worry so much about variance of exercise selection versus just high intensity of the same exercise. But anyway, that being said, your nervous system is what's going to usually cause the overtraining. And if you're not letting your nervous system recover, then, that's when that overtraining will usually kick in. So a deload essentially lets your full body rest, your joints, your muscles, your nervous system, and it lets that fully recover. So when you go into the gym again, you're primed and you're ready to go. And also, I think the other thing about a deload is your mind too. The mind's a big one. People don't think about that. You know how I am. If I can miss 2 days in the gym and be cool. Like when we were in Vancouver, I was like, whatever, no big deal. 2 days is fine. But as soon as I miss day 3, I have to go to the gym. One, I feel kind of fat. Like in my mind, I'm like, I feel fat, but I I'm so motivated to be there. I'm like, man, I miss this place, 4 days, 5 days, then I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to go to the gym. So the desire to be at the gym. So these are all signs you should look at. Do you want to be at the gym? How hard are your workouts? Are you working out at the gym and it's just not even worth it? Like, is there any benefit of you being in the gym besides you moving your body? Like in terms of, are you creating a stimulus in the gym by lifting hard enough? Or is your intensity not high enough? You're just like going through the motions at the gym. Are you feeling always sore and not recovered? Are you tired? Is your desire to go to the gym low? All these things, maybe you need time for a deload for you if all these things are accumulating. And it just depends on your intensity. Some people don't need a deload like very often at all. And some people are so intense and have, poor recovery abilities and need a deload every, 2 months. So it's, I have people who just don't ever want to do a deload and they feel fine and they just don't really do it. And so they're like, I don't want to take a week off the gym. I'm still making progress. I'm like, all right, I guess you don't need it, so it's person by person basis.
Yeah. What I did during my deload too, and this is just a little suggestion, I tried to sleep as much as I possibly could, so recovery, I'm taking that super seriously. I also tried to stay away from caffeine, energy drinks, things like that, just to get resensitized a little bit more to caffeine because I'm going to need it when I'm feeling tired and stuff. So yeah, just took it really easy. I tried not to go off my diet too much because it's never a good idea when you do a deload and then go crazy with food. That is a recipe for disaster. You can't do that. So I did eat more than I usually would, but nothing too bad. So yeah, had some snacks, things like that.
Yeah. And then going into the Olympia now, we have, how many weeks do we have now? Which must be, are we
10.
at 10? Yeah. So this is perfect timing, It's a good timing for a deload. They can really ramp up intensity and get things going here now. So yeah, it's exciting. We're it hasn't hit yet. We're feeling the nerves and pressure, it's usually like 6 weeks out where I'm like, all right, it's Olympia time, Once you start seeing like banners around the city. I guess that's the other thing too, because I go to these casinos quite often and then you start seeing things and I'm like, oh shit, it's the Olympia's here. Like you start seeing little things coming in and little banners starting to be put up and you're like, oh man, it's the O. So yeah.
Goodness gracious, Olympia. It's like the final exam is what I call it every year, the final exam of the year, because you could do well the whole year, but if you don't do well at Olympia, people just remember that and kind of combine that in with your overall year in review. So you could have an A+ for the year, but if you don't do well at Olympia, you're getting a D, So yeah, a lot of pressure for the O, but we're trying to, make it more fun.
Yeah.
Not going to promise anything, but I'm already getting nervous for it.
Well, it'll be a fun one either way. Yeah. The venue's great. They really stepped up the game last year too, so yeah, it'll be a fun time no matter what.
Absolutely.
So, anyway, with that, what else are you doing differently going into the Olympia? I mean, obviously you're getting a trainer.
Yes, that's going to be the biggest, that's going to be the biggest game changer, I think, is having a trainer.
Yeah.
Making sure I'm bringing that intensity 5 days a week.
Yeah.
That's going to be the biggest one. But anything else I'm doing differently? Maybe just the suit. I don't know. Are we?
As of now, that's pretty much
I've gotten was
keep everything about the same.
Pretty much. I will say though, for Vancouver, to be completely honest, one was my tines were just a little soft, but I can fix that.
Yeah, and a lot of that will just be, 8 weeks of training intensity is going to be, they're going to be popping. That's going to be popping for sure.
True. I don't think my physique at the Vancouver was like my best ever, if I'm honest. It was good though. It was good for me. Yeah. Not my best though. And I feel like I could have pushed it just a little harder, especially towards the end, but I kind of lost a little bit of focus for a little bit, lots of stuff going on, but it worked out.
Yeah. Yeah. And this is something we've been talking about with you, training more frequently for a little while now. We've been talking about it for a couple months, trying to find, the right person to bring in and just if it's even of needed of benefit, since you are pretty much complete. So what's going to take to put that little bit of extra icing on top of the Ashley cake, right? So what is it going to take? And so we're seeing that hopefully this works, and maybe it's something that we do every year. Maybe it's something that we have, like the new trainer come in every year. Who knows? It'll be a fun thing to try, and see how it goes. So I guess with that, do we have anything else for everyone?
No, I think that's all for today. And yeah, we'll talk more about the trainer stuff and maybe introduce in a later episode too.
Yeah.
So be on the lookout for that.
Yeah, it'll be fun. So hopefully we see you guys soon. And of course, please leave your questions and comments here. We always appreciate it. And hopefully we'll see you guys at the next posing seminar. Talk to you guys later.